Husain and his companions faced 8 kinds of enemies. On the 4 sides, the army of Yazid was their enemy, which was ceaselessly raining arrows. The 5th foe was the sun of Arabia that was scorching the bodies. The 6th foe was the desert of Karbala, the sands of which were scorching like a heated furnace. The 7th and 8th foes were the overpowering hunger and the unbearable thirst. Thus, on those who fought with thousands of infidels in such conditions has ended bravado. On such a people, no gallant can ever have preeminence. Husain fell, pierced by an arrow, and his brave followers were cut down beside him to the last man. Mohammedan tradition, which with rare exceptions is uniformly hostile to the Umayyad dynasty, regards Husain as a martyr and Yazid as his murderer. In order to keep alive justice and truth, instead of an army or weapons, success can be achieved by sacrificing lives, exactly what Imam Hussain did. Imam Hussain is the leader of humanity. Imam Hussain will warm the coldest heart. Husain's sacrifice indicates spiritual liberation. The best lesson which we get from the tragedy of Karbala is that Husain and his companions were rigid believers in God. They illustrated that the numerical superiority does not count when it comes to the truth and the falsehood. The victory of Husain, despite his minority, marvels me. If Husain had fought to quench his worldly desires, then I do not understand why his sister, wife, and children accompanied him. It stands to reason, therefore, that he sacrificed purely for Islam. No battle in the modern and past history of mankind has earned more sympathy and admiration, as well as provided more lessons than the martyrdom of Husain in the Battle of Karbala. My admiration for the noble sacrifice of Imam Hussain as a martyr abounds, because he accepted death and the torture of thirst for himself, for his sons, and for his whole family, but did not submit to unjust authorities. I learned from Husain how to achieve victory while being oppressed. There is a universal appeal in his martyrdom. Imam Hussain sacrificed his all, but he refused to submit to a tyrannical government. He never gave any weight to the fact that his material force was far less in comparison with that of an enemy, the power of faith to his greatest force, which regards all material force as nothing. This sacrifice is a beacon light of guidance for every community and every nation. Imam Husain's sacrifice is for all groups and communities, an example of the path of righteousness. The sacrifice of Imam Hussain is not limited to one country or nation, but it is the hereditary state of the brotherhood of all mankind. I congratulate Muslims that from among them, Husain, a great human being, was born, who is revered and honored totally by all communities. It is Husain's sacrifice that has kept Islam alive, or else in this world there would be no one left to take Islam's name. Let humanity awakens and every tribe will claim Husain as their own. The world is unable to present an example finer and brighter than the personality of Imam Hussain. He was the embodiment of love, valor, and personification of sacrifice and devotion. Every Muslim in particular must learn a lesson from his life and should seek guidance from him. Imam Hussain uprooted despotism forever till the day of resurrection. He watered the dry gardens of freedom with a surging wave of his blood, and indeed he awakened the sleeping Muslim nation. If Imam Hussain had aimed at acquiring the worldly empire, he would not have traveled the way he did. Hussain weltered in blood and dust for the sake of truth. Verily, therefore, he becomes the foundation of Muslim creed.